So in this video, I'm going to share 5 simple steps that I use to lose a bunch of weight in my mid-50s, to put my type 2 diabetes into remission and help get me moving better than I had done in years. Hey, welcome back to the farm. So if you're over 50, struggling with a bit of a weight problem, or you might be pre-diabetic or have type 2 diabetes, I've been there. Truth is, when we get a bit older, our body changes. It gets a little bit harder to do the things we used to do. So our bodies change, it gets a little bit tougher, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible to turn things around. So step one's probably no surprise, cut carbs and sugar. It's probably the root of a lot of people's problems. So why is that? Well, carbs are effectively repackaged sugar, and sugar keeps your insulin levels high. When your insulin levels are high, your body thinks that it's all rainbows and unicorns. It's fruit season, it's high summer, and it needs to start packing away the fat. And that's exactly what it does. When your bloodstream's got loads and loads of sugar in it, your body just wants to start storing that. So even the healthy carbs that you've been told are, top of the food pyramid, so your, brown bread and brown rice and pasta and wholemeal this and wholemeal that, healthy breakfast cereals, they are all carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are just repackaged sugar, and that's what's causing the damage. So less carbs means less sugar, which means less insulin, which means you start burning fat instead of storing it, and that's what this is all about. Getting you into a state where you're peeling away fat instead of continually storing it and continually on a roller coaster of sugar rush, feeling hungry, eating more sugar, feeling even more hungry. It's a vicious circle, and it's easily solved by weaning yourself off of the stuff that's doing all the damage. So the fat you eat doesn't make you fat. That's a myth. Everybody thought, from the 50s on, fat was the enemy, when in fact the food pyramid, so the bread and the rice and the pasta and all the good healthy stuff makes you fat. It's the sugar that makes you fat. The sugar drives high insulin, and that's what's causing you to store fat. So I'm not saying eat 0 carbs. So it's quite impractical to aim for absolutely 0 carbs, but the aim here is to make some progress and look at reducing carb intake as much as you can comfortably do. So step 2, aim to eat as much protein as you can. So your meat, fish, eggs, poultry, dairy, all the stuff that we were told was the bad guy is in fact the way to go. So, by eating steak and butter and eggs, it keeps you full, removes that roller coaster of sugar rush, sugar, craving, heading to the pantry an hour and a half after eating a big meal because you still feel hungry. That's the sugar that's doing that, and that's by dropping carbs, that's what you can fix. Absolutely ditch the low fat, high fiber advice that we were fed for a good, I don't know, since the 50s perhaps. So looking at 50 years of basically crap advice by the cereal companies, it turns out. So the big sort of Seventh-day Adventist cereal brands and the Quakers and so forth, who were, I guess, ideologically opposed to eating meat. They were big on vegetarian or vegan diets, and made products for that market, and then infiltrated the organizations that advised the government, the USDA and so forth, and here we are. Everybody's You know, everybody's too fat, too unhealthy, all eating seed oils and high fructose corn syrup and all the absolute garbage that's doing, you know, billions and billions of dollars worth of damage to, you know, to the population. So cut it all out. Just get rid of it. Yeah. So fat doesn't make you fat. It's the sugar, baby. Step 3: walk every day. If you're you know, have trouble walking, just do as much as you can, because walking burns fat. It lowers your blood sugar, lowers your blood pressure. It just gets you in a better mood. You know, going for a walk gives you time to think, time to reflect, and that's you know, a pretty rare commodity these days. You know, nobody does a lot of thinking, which you know, I think the world needs a lot more of. So do what you can. You know, I like to get my sort of 5Ks in per day. Take the dog for a walk. But I mean, if you're struggling, you know, just make it to the end of the driveway and back. You know, make it to the corner of the block and back, and just build. And your future self will thank you for that. And of course, you don't need to hit the gym 24/7. You know, absolutely no gym membership required. I didn't join a gym. I didn't hit the weights. I didn't, you know, run for hours and hours on a treadmill. I just walked. I mean, I was, you know, when I started, I was 55. So I wasn't getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to run to the gym and half kill myself. It's you know, just simple walking the dog was the you know, was the answer for me. So, and a lot of this is mindset as well. You know, fixing your mindset is something that's a good thing to work on. You know, one of the biggest pitfalls is comparing yourself to others, seeing what other people are doing and saying, well, you know, I must be crap at this because I don't do that. They've lost more weight. They've done this. They're, you know, in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. You just concentrate. You've only got control over what you can do. You don't have control over what other people are doing, what other people are saying, what other people are thinking of you. And if you've got, you know, a bit of resistance or negativity within the family, just ignore it. You can't control that. You just focus on what you can do for yourself, and you know, and great things will happen. So focus on your own journey. You're not looking for perfection. You're just looking for progress. I mean, everybody slips up. I slip up. Anybody that tells you they don't slip up is a liar. You know, it happens to the best of us. So all you can do is, you know, reset and go again. You know, get back on the horse. It's you know, pretty simple concept, but super effective. So step 5 is get plenty of sleep. You know, decent sleep. Poor sleep raises cortisol levels, so that can kick off cravings. It can certainly slow down your metabolism, and you know, there's a saying in some circles that you lose weight when you sleep, and that is literally true. So the moral of the story, my friends, is 1, cut carbs. 2, prioritize protein. Get back on the meat, get back on the eggs, get back on the dairy, cut the sugar, cut the sugary drinks. 3 was walk. Yeah, just get some walks in, do what you can, and slowly build. That will stand you in good stead. There is a technique doing the rounds at the moment where you can, you know, if you walk at a normal pace for 3 minutes and then walk really fast for 3 minutes and rotate those and then do that for half an hour, that yields way better results than doing, you know, 10-kilometer walks. So just something to bear in mind if you're that way inclined. So work on your mindset, you know, focus on you, ignore the noise, ignore the people around you that you know, aren't that supportive. You can do this. I did it. I'm no genius and nothing exceptional. I got the job done, and you know, 23 kilos in 4 months, I think it was. So that's no mean feat, and it was super simple. You know, maybe not easy, but it was definitely simple. And get plenty of sleep. So there's your 5 steps, all very easy. You know, nothing, they're not going to cost you any more than, you know, doing normal shopping. Just now you'll be looking for better options. So, you know, no carbs, plenty of meat. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's quite expensive. You know, especially the people going carnivore. It's, you know, too expensive to buy steak all the time. But there's so many things you can do with ground beef. Like I did a Philadelphia cheese and ground beef casserole last night. It was stunning. And I'll probably put that up on the channel at some point soon. So I did it. I'm 100% confident you can too. If you want some help with the mindset stuff, I've got a wise words playlist on my YouTube channel. You can you know, have a look at that, drop some comments if you need any help, any advice, any support. I'm always there looking, so if I can answer something I will. And if you drop a subscribe and hit the bell notification, you won't miss out on the new stuff. So there's plenty there now, plenty of recipes, plenty of motivation, and a few stories of mine about how I went about things, and you know, just really to help you. Like, I've got nothing to sell. I've got no courses or mentorships or programs or memberships or all that sort of good stuff that seems to be, you know, pretty rife. You know, in the YouTube world. You know, I'm just thankful that I found my way, and I just want to let everybody that needs to know that it's possible. You know, even at our age, I mean, I've just tipped 60, and you know, I'm feeling better now than I have done in probably 30 years. So there you go. My name's Alan. Thanks so much for watching. You might find if you need help with the walking, you can get a dog, or in my case, get a lamb. So thanks, we'll catch you on the next one.